Hey everybody, welcome back to One Seed, One World. So apparently the universe is telling us that we need to have bees. 2022 and 2023, we had bees that either swarmed or didn't survive. In 2023, they actually survived over the winter into the spring of 2024, and then for whatever reason, the hive ended up just dying off after looking like it had a good start. So last summer, I decided I'm not doing bees again. I got too much other stuff, other projects I want to do, and so we didn't do bees last year. Was not even actually planning on doing bees this year. Then a couple of weeks ago or so, we had a swarm show up in our backyard that showed up at the old hive. Now, when the other bees died off in 2024, I didn't clean out the hive. It was something I was going to go in and get back to, never got to. So all the old comb and frames and stuff were in there, and wax moths moved in and completely overtook what was in there and kind of made a huge mess of the place. But I hadn't got back in there to clean it up and redo everything. So when this first hive showed up, or the first swarm showed up, they stopped by there and decided they didn't want to live in a mess like that, and ended up swarming to a branch in a tree of our yard. And our friend Carrie came over, collected the swarm, and took them to her place where she has some other hives. Her and Michael, her husband, have other hives as well. And so that was taken care of, and we're like, cool, bees got a new home. Then this past Thursday, just a couple days ago, a new swarm showed up at the hive again. And they started kind of moving in, but we don't think that the queen went in there. But they're right hanging above the hive is some branches from the big pine trees that are there behind it, and a lot of them collected there. So Mitzi and I suited up and went in and rearranged some frames, scooped a bunch of the old wax moth poop and stuff out of there that was really gross and about an inch thick. Got that all scraped out and cut the branch that was above the hive and shook it down in to the hive, and it appeared that we caught the queen. Now, I didn't see the queen, but all the other bees just started kind of going in and doing what they do when they know where the queen is, like fanning their butts and going inside. So that's what happened. We had half of the hive cleaned out, but the front half where all the bees were going in, I couldn't get in. I didn't want to disturb them and whatnot. So now that they've been there for a couple days, this evening we went back in, used smoke, and kind of scooted them all back. Seeing in there, they've already started building new combs, so it looks like they're trying to make a home in there, even though the front half of the hive was still a complete mess. I was able to scoot them back, all the frames that were in there and the big bunches of bees that were in there, move them out of the way and scrape a whole bunch more of that wax moth stuff out of there. There's still some crap in the bottom because as I was moving the hive, or moving the frames, there were some batches of bees, like big kind of clumps of them, that kind of fell down into the bottom right on top of it, and I wasn't able to scoop it all out without disturbing them too much. But I would say 97% of the hive is now all scooped out of the wax moth stuff, and the bees can probably clean up the rest themselves. They've already cleaned up a bunch of it and have already started building new combs, so hopefully they will be able to clean out the rest of what's in there and hang out here and give us some honey this year. We did put in 2 new frames that had new like that comb stuff that you put on it, and the wax comb, the starter comb basically for the bees. And I was able to move that up to the front, so at least now their first 2 frames are full of fresh comb, and then the rest of the frames is kind of like the old comb that they've been already working on and cleaning out. So far it looks like they're trying to do something in there. I didn't get into trying to find a queen, but since they're building comb, we'll give it another week or so and see how it goes. And if they're all still in there, we'll check on them and see if we start seeing eggs. And then if we do, then we know that we have a new hive. Because there, besides all the girls, there's also drones and whatnot going on. So it's definitely a working hive at the moment. Now we'll just see if they want to hang out in the semi junk hive that has been going on since it wasn't cleaned out. Anyway, that is what's going on with the bees this year, and if it continues, if they continue to stay and work, I will have further updates this summer with what's going on with eggs and new bees, and hopefully some honey this year, because we have yet to get honey other than a couple of bites on our first year. So thanks for hanging out again with me today, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do like, share, do all the stuff, and also check out our Etsy shop. I've got a link down below, and whatever's going on in your neck of the woods, I hope you're having a great day, and that your gardens and bees and chickens and whatever it is you have is going fantastic for you. We'll see you again soon. Have a great day. Namaste.